So this is how you blind bake or pre-bake a crust, and this is my daughter, our only daughter. We have 6 children, 5 boys. She's the only girl, but a lot of you don't know little Missy. She used to be called Little Miss Homemaker, but she's grown up, so we kind of call her just Missy now, don't we? So this is Missy, and she is helping me today in the kitchen. And hey y'all, and welcome. I'm Miss Katie with Heritage Ways, and today I want to show you how to blind bake or pre-bake a crust. So if you're making a pie that is maybe a cream pie, and you would not bake the entire pie like you would, say, a chess pie or a pumpkin pie or an apple pie. If you were making like a cream, like a coconut cream, lemon cream, a chocolate, and so forth, the kind that have the meringue on top, or some people use whipped topping, you would want to pre-bake the pie crust, the pie shell. And it's also called blind bake. So this is just a tutorial of how to blind bake. But also I have 2 pie shells, and I'm going to bake one without using the pie weights and one with, and you're going to be able to see the difference of doing the 2 methods. So I'm glad you're here, and this is where I encourage diligent homemakers. And if you are a diligent homemaker, someone who's just trying to do the best with what she has, then I urge you to join the community here at Heritage Ways, hit subscribe, and enjoy the hundreds of videos that I've put out for you so far. I look forward to walking life with you and counting blessings with you. So let's get started on how to blind bake a pie crust. All right, today I'm going to make a chocolate pie, and my oven. Okay, my oven has preheated to 375. Today I'm going to make a chocolate pie. My husband's family always has just called it chocolate pie. I think in recipes, cookbooks rather, you're going to see it called chocolate cream pie or southern chocolate pie. So this is not a fudge pie necessarily. It is more of a, what you might call a pudding pie. But that's a little bit of an insult to those of us who've grown up having chocolate cream pie. But anyway, that just gives you an idea of what I'm going to make today. All right, so like I said, we're going to blind bake, and I'm going to show you the result of 2 different methods. But I want to tell you a couple of things. First of all, these are purchased pie shells. A diligent homemaker knows that she uses her resources the best that she can. Diligent homemaker is what I call homemakers who sometimes they might choose to reserve and preserve their sanity or their money, or they might want to save energy. And so in this case, I chose not to make homemade crust, and because homemade would have been cheaper, less expensive, I realize. But I purchased these because I wanted to save some energy and time in this particular case. With these crusts came directions of how to bake an unfilled pie crust. It says to thaw about 10 minutes, prick the sides and the bottom with a fork, and bake in a preheated oven, 400 degrees for about 15 to 20 minutes. In a conventional, and then a convection it says 350 for 8 to 10 minutes. And that's all it says to do. So that's what we're going to do with the first crust. Now, I will tell you that the pricking of the sides and the bottom does help to prevent it from rising up or bubbling up. So that's what I'm going to do here. And we'll see if that completely prevents the bubbling up. So put this over here to the side. Now I have just pinto beans that I only use as pie weights. I do not cook them later to use for, eating. I just reserve them for pie weights. And I have some parchment in here. So what I'm going to do to easily get to the beans, now, I want to tell you, you can purchase pie weights at houseware stores, all sorts of places. They have them individually like this, or I've seen them like in a string of pearls type idea, but you can just use dried beans. And you can reuse them. Use them over and over. In case I forget to tell you later, make sure that they are completely cooled when you put them back in your jar to save them for the next time you'll need them. All right. I'm just going to okay, I'm actually not going to prick the bottom and sides of this pie shell, but I am going to put this piece of parchment, which also can be reused. And the beans are just going to be poured into the parchment. Then I'm just going to form them into the pie shell. And the weight, it does what they say, pie weights, are going to keep the pie shell from bubbling up. And that's it. We're going to bake both of these pie crust at 375. I know this one said either 350 or 400, depending on conventional or convection. I actually have a convection oven, but we're going to do 375 for about 15 to 17 minutes. Then I'm going to remove the pie weights from this shell, and I'm going to cook another 5 to 7 minutes. Now, some people just leave the pie weights in the entire baking time, and you can do that as well. So the reason I'm removing the pie weights after the 15 to 17 minutes is so that we can also get a little bit more browning and the heat can get more toward the bottom of the pie crust. Because remember, we're not baking the chocolate pie, so we want the crust to be baked. So that's what we're going to do, 375, 15 to 17 minutes. What I'm looking for is going to just be a delightful golden brown after the cooking time. All right, I've put my pie weights in this bowl, and I've got to let them cool. They're super hot still. I've got little Missy standing beside me. Can you tell they're hot? We've got to let them...
I can feel the heat without even...
Yeah, so we've got to let them cool. Yeah. All right. Here is what we did. Like you saw it ahead of time. Pricking the bottom and sides, that's great. It did prevent it from bubbling up, but you see the pie shell shrunk a little bit. So here's the other one. The pie shell shrunk less using the pie weights. We do have a little bit of bubbling up here, but like I said to you, you could leave the pie weights in the entire time. So what we did, 375 for both pie shells at the same time. 17 minutes for both. Took the pie weights out. 7 more minutes for both. Took this one out, and I decided this one needed a little bit more cooking, so this went 4 more minutes. So you be the judge. This probably went a little bit longer than it should, but still, I like that it shrunk less using the pie weight. So you could do it either way. So this is how you blind bake or pre-bake a crust. And this is my daughter, our only daughter. We have 6 children, 5 boys. She's the only girl. But a lot of you don't know little Missy. She used to be called Little Miss Homemaker, but she's grown up, so we kind of call her just Missy now, don't we? So this is Missy, and she is helping me today in the kitchen. And I love your apron. You're going to have to tell us where you got your apron.
I got it from Lehman's.
It came from Lehman's, yes. So
I love it.
I will put the link down below in the description box for the apron that she has on. And I make these crossback aprons. I don't make these kind. And so this is the kind I like to wear because, y'all, it covers a multitude of sins, especially if you're fixing to bake and eat chocolate pie like we are. So thanks for joining us today. I hope you're counting your blessings. Bye-bye. See you next time.